Well, it is the stress hormone responsible for a range of health issues, from weight gain and depression to high blood pressure and diabetes. And when you throw in the challenges of everyday life, our cortisol levels can be easily thrown off balance.
So could cortisol be to blame for those extra kilos you can't shift? Let's bring in dietitian Karina Savage. Karina, okay, how is cortisol bad for your weight?
Hi Matt, great to see you both. Cortisol is otherwise known as the stress hormone. It's released in that fight or flight response that we have when we're in danger, and cortisol levels normally fluctuate, but it's when it's raised over a longer period of time, that's when you start to see health-related issues such as increased risk of overweight or obesity, diabetes or heart disease.
So is it the fact that the chemical is in your body that creates an inflammation, or is it what you eat when you're feeling that stress?
Well, when you're stressed, you tend to choose poorer food options anyway, but it's really, cortisol is influenced by many things: stress, lack of sleep, lack of activity, and also a high salt diet's actually also been shown to elevate cortisol levels. So it's when it stays higher over a longer period of time, that's when it becomes an increased risk of health-related problems, and that's where I really recommend a Mediterranean style of eating to help reduce not only those problems caused by stress and elevated cortisol, but just to nourish your insides on a day-to-day basis, because that's really what we want to be doing. We want to be putting plenty of, the first podium here, we have antioxidant-rich foods. And what antioxidants do is they help mop up our insides, they clean our blood, and they really reduce our risk of disease. So it does combat any other problems associated with those higher stress or cortisol levels. So plenty of plant-based foods. Then we've got foods that are rich in good fats, so healthy fats. So I really recommend a good amount of olive oil daily, extra virgin olive oil. I think it's liquid gold. We've got nuts, we've got seeds, we've got avocado, we've got fish. So they're all really rich sources of healthy fats that are good to incorporate in a day-to-day lifestyle. Then we've got protein-rich foods, because these protein-rich foods, they help you keep fuller for longer, so you're less likely to grab that chocolate bar at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because you're feeling more satisfied. They're also a rich source of nutrients such as iron and zinc and omegas, so a really good food to incorporate throughout the day. And then we've got fibre-rich foods here, which are important for our gut health. They nourish our inside, keep the system working well. And that's also been linked to weight and metabolism as well, having a healthy gut microbiome.
Okay, so what do we know, or how do we know if our cortisol levels are up? Should we check?
Well, look, I think to start with, we should take basic, lifestyle strategies to try to have some time out. And, it's really hard in a busy lifestyle though. So I think if you're worried, then I would chat to your GP about getting cortisol level tested. But I think to start with, I would start with the basics such as a healthy balanced diet, trying to get some exercise, trying to get some good sleep, and trying to perhaps throw in some yoga and meditation here and there to try to reduce your levels, because all of those factors will help reduce those cortisol levels.
It's a whole lifestyle change, isn't it? What about coffee? Because that's a go-to, isn't it, when you're stressed or tired or pretty much any other time?
Rest assured you can still have your morning coffee. There is some evidence around those that are sensitive actually having elevated cortisol later in the day if they have multiple coffees. So that 3-4 o'clock coffee for those that are sensitive will raise their cortisol levels. And that's really interesting, because you do find those people that say they can't have coffee in the afternoon because they can't sleep at night. And that will be related to cortisol levels.
I know. Well, I'll stick to 1 or 2. Okay. Thanks, Karina.
That's a pleasure.
Thank you.